Thank you very much for tuning in. It is July 31st at 11:30 or something. We're running a little late. This is the Tattoo Weekly, the show about tattoo news, events, and more. I'm Gabe Ripley, the technical host for this show, joined with Fawn and Lauren. And well, wait, we're testing this out right now because we're going out live, and we don't want to. We want to make sure that it's working for everybody. So please let us know if this is working in the comments, where you're beaming in from, and that way we'll know that it is working. Okay, then we're going to do the one when then we just kind of go into it. Welcome to Guy Aitchison's Reinventing the Tattoo Network, where tattooers, apprentices, collectors, and the curious are all encouraged to join into these live streams, real-world events to share and inspire, and ultimately to create better art and tattoos together. We're beaming out nearly every day, and with your help have evolved into a quality network of amazing live and on-demand tattoo and art shows that have been receiving rave reviews. And yeah, Lauren and Fawn have been helping out since the beginning of the Reinventing Network. It's amazing. Anyways, you can find the Reinventing the Tattoo in these fine places on either of the app stores. That is, pick your devil, the Google or the Apple. On YouTube, also the Google Devil. Roku, Independent Corporate Devil, where we have 12 to 15 channels going on at any given time, 24/7. And then, of course, all the major podcast directories, Apple, Spotify, all that. Just search for Reinventing the Tattoo and you will find it all. No matter where you are beaming in from, you could always find the latest and greatest at reinventingthetattoo.com. You should be joining a free newsletter. There's no spam, only good stuff. And if you scroll down, we could see that not only will we talk about the subscriptions, which are the lifeblood of the reinventing community. So if you are a tattooer, you should definitely join. But you see all of our recent shows, as well as the Reinventing 24/7, where, hey, there's Kyle, speaking of interviewing Good Time Charlie. We've got all of the previous year's shows going in 10 different channels, including the Spanish channel, Live in the Castro, Tattoo Convention. It's crazy. And then where I want to land here is our Reinventing the Tattoo Network event schedule. It's all in Google, so you could add yourself to your favorite shows, and you'll see here we've got the full list. 9 a.m. in the morning, drawing for tattooers. 11 a.m., the Tattoo Weekly. Hey, that's this show. 5 p.m., let's talk about feelings with Robbie Ripple. 6 p.m. is Paint Night with Renee, the last Monday of the month, and that is today. And then every Mondays at 9 p.m. are the Reinventing exercises. Tuesdays, we have new content being released from the Evolution program. See, Wednesdays, we've got the Tattoo Now show coming back at noon. Thursdays, at 6 p.m. Eastern, all these times are Eastern, is Tattoo Collecting 101 with Fawn and her whole crew. Then Sunday is Skill Building Sundays with Jason and Lisa. Everyone's encouraged to join in. And then we started all over again on Mondays. Okay, we're supposed to be plugging the last show. I'm not sure which one it was, but it was fucking months ago. And yeah, oh Jesus, I guess we have sponsors and shit. So we want to plug World's Tattoo Events, the largest, most comprehensive resource for tattoo events worldwide. TattooNow.com, technology for tattooers. And then, of course, Reinventing the Tattoo. You should be subscribing if you are a tattooer or an apprentice type. Okay, we're back. So, hey, I get to take a breather. How goes it, everybody?
Awesome. It's going pretty well. How are you, Gabe? Haven't seen you in person since Hell City. So, yeah, good to have another way to communicate with you.
Well, hiding out, and yeah, I've been off the video. I've been just working on all the software, but I'm excited to get back on the video a little bit. And then yeah, the Tattoo Gathering and the iLifestyle show are coming up. So those are the only two things that I've got coming up. So, but I'm kind of appreciating hiding out. Still, I'm contemplating my 60.
We still do have the business roundtable where we meet weekly, so that is also pretty cool. Fun. How's it going?
Pretty good. Gabe brought up the Tattoo High Lifestyle show. I'm definitely, you guys know me. I'm definitely looking forward to that one. So,
the Clerks guy will be there.
And yeah, I was just trying to get a game plan together. I don't know if I want to have a couple big projects to work on for the weekend, or just show up with some high lifestyle class and do some little bangers and hang out. So yeah. Forward to that show.
It's gonna be fun. Like for the most part, I've gotten snootier and snootier over time with my events, and I'm I started off with educational events like Paradise and the Worldwide Tattoo Conference, and then I got smaller and more boutiquey and more focused on education. And when I started, thinking about this event a little bit more, I'm like, this is amazing. There'd be like all sorts of awesome, fun people kicking around. Like the musicians are awesome. The comedians are awesome. Like everyone is going to be pretty fucking awesome. And I can't fit it into my collection, but I can't wait to see the I'm not even supposed to be here today tattoo. I'm not even supposed to be here today.
No, I think I think it's gonna be a great show. I'm really looking forward to it. Anytime that like you can combine basically the two communities that I'm like the most active and passionate about. I'm an avid glass collector as well as, if you watch my show, that I am a smoker as well. So it's kind of nice to just have like the environment where all of that creative energy is flowing and, there's plenty of lubrication in the air to make the energy flow even better. So
Absolutely. Well, I might as well show it off here a little bit here, right? We've got the highlifestyleshow.com. Can Man has been working on the poster, and there are still booths available. So if you're interested in coming out and you're a tattooer, there's applications are on the website here. Yeah, and the let's see what we got for entertainment. Like I said, the DJs and the bands are pretty sick. Well, this is going slow. This is bad internet. Apologize about that. Oh, here we go. Well, anyways, if you're interested in, cannabis and tattoos and art and comedians and all that, Friday, September 22nd to the 24th, iLifestyleShow.com. And, at first I was a little bit, like I said, at first I was a little weird. I was like, combining it all is, I like, it's weird. Like for me, like, obviously, I'm a massive, maybe not obviously, I am a massive cannabis fan. And, but like, again, it's like, I also like motorcycles, but I keep my tattoos and my, they're kind of separate, but, I'm wicked excited. Like all of a sudden the enthusiasm and then I'm like, why am I being the weirdo? Like almost every convention, there's people running around drinking like fishes all over the place. Like having the smoking alternative as a perfectly legal, thing, is amazing. Not getting tattooed while smoking, but yeah.
there's just fewer shenanigans that follow the cloud of weed smoke than what happened at the bar. Enough, the energy stays better, the energy stays positive. So I think it just leads to a better, more fun atmosphere for all of our creative minds. And then people that are getting tattooed, if you partake in smoking, I just feel like it makes the whole process of getting tattooed better. It just makes it easier to get on the same wavelength, like artist and collector, and can just kind of like lock in together and vibe better. So I don't know. I've now all kinds of theories why the two go so hand in hand. But
oh man, I remember the first time I got stoned while I was getting tattooed. I don't mean to hog the conversation, but this is making me think of it. But I was over in Paris, probably in the mid-90s, somewhere in the mid-90s, and I think it was this bird. I tracked down Tintin, and I was like, hey, I want to get tattooed, but by Tintin. And when I found his shop, I was working as a video game programmer. I was making a video game, and so I was going to be there for a couple months. I found his shop, and he was like, oh yeah, I'll tattoo you. And I was like, holy shit, I couldn't believe I was going to get an appointment with him. I figured there's no way. He's like, but you have to wait 2 months. I'm like, I could wait 2 months. I'll actually be here in 2 months. So long story short, I come back in 2 months later, and he's like, wow, he showed up. He's like, what are you going to get? And I was like, oh my God, I didn't think about it, right? Like I knew I wanted to get large work, and I knew I couldn't get large work from him. So I was like, maybe a bird on my neck. And I was very thankful. I didn't have very many tattoos. He was like, yeah, okay, come back in 2 months. If you can make it, I'll tattoo you. And so anyways, I get back there, and I'm waiting in line, and there's like 4 or 5 people. The day of the tattoo, there's like 4 or 5 people that he's like doing business with. And the guy in front of me like lifts up a big, package. He's like, French Riviera. And I'm like, okay. And I realize, it's some weed. Okay, this is cool. And they start rolling up the fucking big ass joints, right? And I'm like, I'd never experienced the European spliffs before. And I just figured they were just rolling that thing full up of weed. And I was like, oh my God, these joints are fucking massive. And which is almost even worse. So like, as they were passing around, this was the first time that I was smoking and getting tattooed. We won't be doing that at the High Lifestyle Show, of course, afterwards. But anyways, point is, all of a sudden it was all the tobacco. And then I swear the tobacco probably fucked me up more than the weed did. But now I'm like, for the first time, I'm paranoid, and he's taking fucking forever. He's stopping and he's talking to people on the phone, and like, I thought I had enough money for like 2 or 3 hours of work, and now it's like a 5-hour ordeal. And he's like, and I'm paranoid. I think he's tattooing "Stupid American" on my neck, and I'm freaking out that I don't have like all the money. And at the end of it, he was like, I looked at the tattoo, and he didn't tattoo "Stupid American." He tattooed a nice little birdie. And he was like, he charged me for 2 hours. He's like, I was on the phone with my lawyer. I'm not going to charge you to talk to my lawyer. And it was amazing. I was like, oh, wow, this worked out perfectly. I thought it was going to be crazy. Anyways, yeah. The French Riviera, that was in the 90s. Things were crazier back then. Or much more responsible now.
There are definitely some sessions where that was the thing that got me through the rough hours. So, I'm pretty excited to be part of the show, though.
Yeah, then you'll be doing some live tattoo collecting interviews, and I know James is coming up. Well, we should do a whole little teaser on that at some point. And you have convention coverage coming up. So part of the contributions to the show is you have been videoing and running around all these shows and such. So
I've actually been working on kind of like increasing the quality of the footage I'm capturing. I've got a lot of friends that are photographers and videographers and like actually do it for a living. So I've been stealing little like jewels of knowledge and secrets. Just, keeping in mind when I make the videos that people are going to be watching these on a screen. So like I look at like my early footage and I almost get like car sick looking at it. So now I'm trying to be very mindful and move a lot more like gracefully with the camera so that your eyes can actually read and follow what's going on. So little improvements like that.
It really does amaze me too that so many tattoo videographers go so fast. It's like because everyone's fucking catering to this like short attention span. And it's like with tattoos, I swear I'm going to fight it until I die, which, whatever. Point is, like, tattoos require patience. Like, it takes a long time to do them. It takes a long time to look at them. And, like, all of the, I like robot music, too. But, like, come on, let's, like, look at the tattoos.
What?
So, Lauren, you've been hitting up some shows. And what do you have in store for us?
Well, yeah, I've actually been traveling to quite a few. Since May, I've done quite a few different traveling. I went to Empire State Tattoo Expo in New York. That was nice. I did 2 days out there, Saturday and Sunday, and saw one of the most heavy-hitting lineups I've seen at an event probably since I can remember that I saw in person. It was pretty cool. A lot of Europeans came in for that. Otherwise, after that, I did do the Tattoo Collectors Expo down. My business partner from the magazine does that event in Arlington, and it's at Esports Stadium. So it was just, the venue itself was pretty cool. It's like right amidst where the Texas Rangers play. Esports is kind of a different genre, but the location is pretty cool. Then after that, I just went out to Denver this past weekend for the Denver Tattoo Convention. And that one was, I've got some video and stuff from that. That one was foot traffic wise. Overall, a huge improvement from where it was 3 years ago when it started. So I was pretty impressed. And then coming up, I'll be in San Diego in 2 weeks. Actually, I'll be in Fort Wayne. Fort Wayne Tattoo Festival is coming up in 2. And after that, we have San Diego coming up. So pretty cool. And then following that, we'll be in Berlin for the Berlin Tattoo Convention. Right after that would be
Europe.
Yeah, right after Berlin would be the Golden State Tattoo Expo in Boston, I believe. And then followed by the High Life show.
Ram, so you're just like, are you hitting all those shows or?
Yep.
Awesome. Fantastic. So if anybody's catching any of those shows, make sure you, I don't know,
Yep.
comment, subscribe, like, all whatever it is to connect.
It's pretty interesting because the array of promoters. So for example, Don, he's younger than me, and he's out in doing a show, the Gila Tattoo Expo this weekend. So it's cool to see the variety of types of events, I suppose, moving forward, because there's a lot of different perspectives and things like that. My most favorite I'm looking forward to would be the Paradise Tattoo Gathering. So
Yeah.
October.
I'm like, I love the show, but right now it's like 12, 11 weeks out and fun. You know the feeling so well. I'm like, why did I agree to do this? Why am I doing this again? We have dates for next year. Why the fuck do I have dates for next year? There's no way I'm going to be doing this next year. But,
Cool.
you know, I mean, because everyone's like, the schedule, we want to see the schedule. We need to start registering for the schedule. I'm like, I know, I'm bugging all the artists to get all the information for the schedule. And I'm like, but we want to register right now. I'm like, if I like launch the 10 people that have given me the things and then like 3 other people give me their stuff and then there's a conflict, then you're mad at me because,
Hmm.
whew, but it's fun. And
Yeah.
it is, yeah, people, the tickets are moving. A couple of shop tickets have gone in the last week. So the studios are coming out to do the bonding thing and the team building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's nice to have events like that. I think that there's so much, it just, you walk away with so much more. For example, in Denver, it's just go, go, go. And it's just tattoo with your head down rather than an event like Paradise. You walk away just more fulfilled, I'd say.
Yeah, well, I've got it fired up here. It's
Sure.
there we go. Boom. It's one of the things that makes me able to do all of these things, right? So this is October 12th to the 15th of Paradise Tattoo Gathering, and one of the things we realized is that we haven't really talked up the seminar schedule as much as we could. A lot of people don't know. It's been 5 years, I think, since we've done a full-on Paradise Tattoo Gathering. So the main deal with it is there's probably 20 to 30 different seminars, discussion panels, workshops, as well as a tattoo artist room. So the tattoo artist ticket, it's like $400, $100 a day, but it includes events in the artist only room. There's 2 or 3 different events there, specifically for the artist ticket. And then of course there's a stage, there's people tattooing and whatnot. But really the seminars are, I mean, to your point, it's not just a normal, like everyone's tattooing and trying to, make money and sell stuff and whatnot. It's really, we're going to learn and share. And the lineup is always, it's one of my favorites, but Jackie Sandals is coming, Jackie Sandals Strong, and Gunner, Corey. I mean, obviously you go to the website or to the Instagram to see the lineups, but everyone here is teaching, and I guess like I said, you can just kind of scroll through here. The atmosphere is, it's a Paradise Tattoo Gathering. It's like paradise.
Early into my tattoo career, those of you that pay any attention to like my show or any of the other discussions we've had, that I'm involved with Health City, and I've been going to the Health City shows since, before I was even like acquainted with Derb or any of the crew. But at that point, the only other shows that I had been to and actually really like enjoyed and would go to like over and over again were the Paradise shows. I've attended I'm blanking out, Keystone.
Can you smack your headphones?
Still crazy.
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
bit here and there. But yeah, Keystone, that was, yeah.
Yeah,
I was there too.
Keystone event, and I remember watching Sean Barber talk about like how he painted tattoos on people and some of his like creative processes, and that was pretty like eye-opening. And as an artist who is like still working on developing my own style, listening to him speak, it kind of like gave me the permission I needed to just like springboard and push some of the things I was doing even further, even though it wasn't exactly the same as what he was doing, just the process and the like, just do it, just intuitively do it. It kind of like changed the way that I painted and the way that I tattooed. I remember also that year, John Anderton was talking about.
Yes.
So for me, like even before actually being acquainted with you, Gabe, the Paradise events have always kind of held a soft spot in my heart just because they are so education oriented. I feel like even if you're a collector attending a Paradise event, you're going to walk away knowing more than when you walked into the building. Like you're going to be exposed to some of the best, most educational and inspirational artists from around the world, as well as just having a very good, like top-notch experience as far as how tattoo conventions and tattoo events go. So the Paradise events, if you're a young tattooer or you're a seasoned tattooer, they're incredibly valuable on like making connections and then also like actually being able to learn right there from the people that you look up to. So if you're a tattooer and you're on the fence about what events you should go to, Paradise should be very high on your list because you're going to leave with a whole bucket full of new tricks and connections. I mean, I've made incredibly good friends through the reinventing, obviously, but through the Paradise connections as well. So,
Yeah. It's
a
made
little bit of that.
awesome. Thank you for the kind words. It's crazy. You know, my my wife had so much influence over it. It's nuts, right? Like all the educational part. You know, I barely got through school. I mean, I was always, kind of geeky, but like, organized teaching, I had no use for whatsoever. And, but one of the things she teaches infants, right? So she gets human brains, and when they're very young, she'll get them pre-verbal, and using the environment as a teacher is something that I've heard and I've kind of absorbed. I'm like, oh yeah, right. Like the environment and the environment of your studio, crafts the experience, and the environment of a convention or of an event, likewise will craft the experience. And so, just picking these beautiful spots that are, that are pilgrimages, they're out of the way, that they take a little bit of effort to get to, kind of weeds out most of the assholes. And so to your point, it's like you get to be inspired by awesome people. You pretty much turn around and talk to anybody. And yeah, it's like I said, it's certainly one of my favorite events to help be part of. And again, no matter how torturous it is, the benefits usually far outweighs the insanity that it takes to make it happen. I got to thank Jake Meeks and Dan and like the Fireside Tattoo crew, because they're really stepping up to help the show make it happen this year. And Jake's helped with some of the previous events in the last 2 or 3 years. And yeah, so we're wicked excited. So yeah, definitely again, if you're a shop, like grab those condos. Bring your studio, and it's
Prepare for meals together. Think about it. Hit the grocery store first. This is like an experience, a together experience. Because one of my favorite things was all of us having breakfast together last time at the Needle Jig meetup. That was pretty cool. So stuff like that is totally possible when you have the condos and you're not thinking about food. You're thinking about together time.
Yeah. I'm gonna fire up Thanks Anderton. John Anderton changed his name to Thanks a couple years ago. Well, you know what? Let me just fire that up right now, because you brought up his work. I'm hoping he's coming out this year. He's got a podcast. Thanks. So Thanks Anderton, right? And his podcast is, I think it's like the best tattoo podcast that exists or something, right? So, yeah, and he's a multi-disciplined artist, right? So he's always into crazy stuff. Look at this. Oh no, I'm not logged in. Wait. See, we should be preparing slideshows in advance. Well, I know. Stop. This is horrible.
Well, while you're getting into that, one of the things that we didn't talk about yet was the location. Jiminy Peak is beautiful. Like if you happen to be into photography, or you happen to be into hiking or anything like that, it's beautiful. It's a ski resort. And I don't know if you've ever experienced a ski resort off season, but it's just beautiful, rolling hills and all kinds of nature. You might get run over by mountain bikers, but it's wonderful. The location that it's set at, like Lauren said, it's kind of nice to have the condos go grocery shopping first, because then once you're on the resort, you don't have to leave and you can just relax. You don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah, and let's see. So it's Jiminy Peak. Jiminy Peak. To your point, having a ski resort, well, like I said, it just really sets the stage for whatever for the whole event. And it's also very family friendly. These slides, the Alpine slides here. This is actually how we found it. I was going up there with my daughter. And as we were waiting in line for all the rides, all the people who were working there were like, we had a motorcycle convention here last week. And I was like, like I was saying, I kind of keep my motorcycles and I don't do motorcycles at all anymore, but, my tattoos, whatever, a little bit different. And but after like the 4th or 5th time, they're like, yeah, we had a lot of motorcycles here. I was like, how many? And they were like, about 1,000. I'm like, you had 1,000 motorcyclists here last weekend? Well, you could definitely do 1,000 tattooers then. They're like, we're even more polite. And so there we go. We, it's a wicked fun time. And to your point, the environment just really has so much to do with, again, both like who gets it, who wants to go and hang out in that environment. And yeah, it's really, it's great. It's designed to be inspirational for tattooers and people who want to tattoo. So I really do appreciate the fact that people do actually, it works, and the stress. As a convention promoter, I've tried to let the stress kind of not get to me. And it's like, you know what? It's actually not even about me. It never really was about me. It's about getting the right people together, and then they make their own life changing experiences. I don't even have to do it. I don't do it. Everyone does it for themselves.
Yep.
So we should maybe, I've got some video fired up for the Tattoo Collecting 101, and maybe we'll run a couple minutes of this convention coverage, and then we'll meet you guys back on the far end, on the other end.
All right.
How's this working these days? I wonder. Okay, I guess we'll find out. Hi.
Hi. You have a new sound.
No audio. You could talk about what you were talking about, because
I think in this moment we weren't screen sharing yet, so maybe we were just talking about leading up into the Tattoo Collectors Expo. I think I had like 25 minutes or a half hour of convention coverage where all I was doing was actually capturing like what was being done in very slow pans, so you could kind of take in what was being done. There were a lot of pieces. One of the things that I liked about the show is there were really a lot of artists that were working on multiple day projects. I know that happens at a lot of shows, but it just seemed like disproportionately, like most people showed up to compete with very large all weekend pieces. So it's really cool to catch like the start of the process, follow that, through a couple videos, and then by the last day when I'm getting in there and they're getting in like the nitty gritty details and completing huge back pieces. It's just really exciting to see all of that happen all in one location, but just over a few days. My back piece took me like 2.5 years to achieve. So when you can just sit down and nose to the grindstone, and as a collector, when you can walk away after a weekend like this and have a life-changing piece of art on you, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, my back piece still isn't finished.
There was just really a lot of nice, big work going on. Try to get in super close, so like if you are a tattooer, you can see a little bit of the technique that's going on, how people are actually like using their machines and needle groupings and things like that. I don't necessarily talk about it, but like, if you happen to catch an artist, when I'm recapping a show, if you catch an artist that you like or look up to, maybe pause the video and slow it down a little bit, because even if I don't necessarily talk about all the secrets and tricks of the trade that they're using, sometimes you can just see like, oh, they're using a 15 mag to achieve that. Oh, they're moving that quickly with this approach. Or it's just kind of cool to be able to capture those tight little details if you want to slow down enough to steal them.
I think showing off the tattoos and getting into the tattoos is way better than the scantily clad people shots. I mean, you see the views, and I don't mind scantily clad people, but like sometimes I'm looking at the convention coverage, I'm like, well, no wonder you get 100,000 views, but like,
yeah, I mean, that's never been necessarily the thing that draws me to a tattoo convention, but I know there is a crowd of people that does show up to see the girls in the costumes and the makeup and the hair and all of that, and it is part of the tattoo culture. It definitely is, but that's not really my corner of the tattoo culture. So I like, for better or worse, I just kind of skip over that kind of stuff. I feel like our community is so oversaturated. I'd rather get in on these one-of-a-kind, beautiful pieces of art and the people making them and the people wearing them.
Awesome. Agree wholeheartedly. Mm-hmm. Oh, there's some
Good
speaking
show.
of bodysuits. Mm-hmm. It's one of the Andre Malcolm's coming out to Paradise this year, so we're very excited to help people be able to pick his brain about large scale tattoos, and he's got that stencil process where he's like printing out like bats and bodysuits out of his printer, and just one fucking stencil. It's crazy.
I accidentally dropped some stencil bombs the other day. We had Ananda Ward. She does a lot of the reinventing and paradox kind of stuff. She's doing a guest spot at Red Tree, and as I was preparing my stencil, it was a pretty complicated, like one of these wigwag designs that I've been playing with a lot, but they're incredibly complicated stencils. I don't need a ton of information, but I need the stencil to be clean. And when you lay a stencil on like a curvy part of the body, there are a few tricks. And one of them is like literally just rolling your stencil up into a tiny little ball and then unfolding it. And it actually like tucks into the creases and cracks. So that kind of blew my client's mind as well as Ananda's mind. And I was like, well, here. And I like redid it to show him how I would like fold it in half first so I didn't get purple everywhere. And then I neatly fold it into a tight little ball and make it like as tight as I could. And then when I unfold it, it's nice and flexible and pliable like crepe paper, but the stencil's still clean on it.
Awesome.
So that was a pretty cool, my inventing trick. And those are tricks where if not for receiving such a big tattoo from Russ on my back, I wouldn't have learned that trick, because that's what he did. Like he stenciled the whole thing out as if it was one large sheet, and then he folded it up, wadded it in a ball, and then as he stenciled me, he could like tuck it around my waist and hips and shoulders, and it fit perfectly. Like, when you do that, the wrinkles are teeny tiny, so the stencil lays perfect, and having super smooth and then these big wrinkles that then distort the design.
Yeah, it's amazing how many things that go into making great tattoos. It's just
like I've been doing this for almost 15 years, and sometimes somebody does something and it just clicks, and it's like, wasn't I doing that all along? And it, they're all just the teeniest little tricks, but each one makes your day easier and the tattoo better and your client more comfortable, and all the little tricks just stacked on top of each other.
Yeah.
That was such a great show. So many different styles.
Nice. One thing that we completely did is ignore our script and our outline. We didn't tell people that we were doing like different news and different headlines and whatnot. But our next segment is the news segment.
Jump into the current events instead of a couple weeks ago with it.
Sounds good. We're all set. You have anything fired up for us, Laura? Let me take off the convention coverage. Well, awesome. Well, this is awesome, amazing convention coverage. And I know me, for one, I'm pretty excited because like I was saying, I'm kind of hiding out. Or not hiding out, I'm like hanging out and Western Mass, just working on my computer. So getting to see actual conventions, it's fun. I go right to it to get to watch it, see who's there.
Yep. So my kind of stomping ground right now, I guess, would be more in line with what's happening with the law. So if anybody has followed some of the reinventing streams in the past, I found out about this through Renee Little, actually. She and I touched base about this. And the owner of Rockabilly Tattoo Supply, Renee, me, Ben, a couple other people out of Oklahoma started just like a little group to talk about this. And so the owner of Rockabilly Tattoo Supply was interviewed by the news station in Tulsa, where he talks about what is happening in Oklahoma. Essentially, what they're doing is going back to old laws that weren't constitutional in 2007 that said that you could not have a tattoo shop within 1,000 feet of a church. You'd be required to have a $100,000 surety bond.
But wait, you could have a church within 100 feet of a school?
You cannot have.
Sorry.
You cannot have it within 1,000 feet of a church. Oh. So this is something that's happening in Oklahoma. So what the tattooers did in response was pretty cool. So this year, as we've talked about before, we've had a lot of national issues. So at this point, we have the state-by-state issues and are finding out and navigating who can be involved with that sort of stuff. So the Oklahoma artists have banded together. They've utilized some of the national resources via the APT, but are communicating with health officials. But the problem is that health officials aren't responding. So really what they're doing is finding an organized front. People like Renee are stepping up and doing really good. Rockabilly Tattoo Supply. And they formed a group with hundreds and hundreds of people on Discord. So that's been pretty cool. Speaking of Discord, we've got the body art regulation system that we're kind of working with that has state reps. So via this BARS system and the Oklahoma Discord, you've got hundreds, if not thousands now of artists communicating about what's happening legally, making sure that they're aware, because now that we've kind of been reclassified, tattooers are in the spotlight. It's a cosmetic spotlight, so we're starting to see things pop up in states.
So wait, could you expound upon that a little bit for people? So you said that tattooing's been reclassified or classified, or
Yeah, legally, tattooing is a cosmetic, when we're talking about the products that we use. So as of last year in December, it was signed into law, the Modernization of Cosmetic Regulation Act. So we'll maybe be better if we do some slides and kind of break it up in chunks over the next several episodes, because it is a lot. But with that modernization of cosmetics comes recognition, and a lot of tattooers hate that. But you see states like Oklahoma this year alone jumping in on the tattoo regulation thing, states like New Jersey as well. So with these systems that we've created and the Discord, which is pretty, I had to learn it. So it's great for people of all ages, really. But communication about these things, to have ears and boots on the ground when something like that happens. They are looking for more reps to sign up. We've got, a page, if that's what you call it, in Discord for everybody, for each state, kind of eyes out there, ears on the ground. It's pretty interesting. So if you don't know what's going on in your state, I would recommend finding out who is in control of those things and keeping aware of that. Seems right now.
is there a spot where we could send visitors to or viewers to join one of these?
Yeah, I'll just kind of screen share. I'll screen share what my bars system looks like.
Your bars system?
It sounds
bar
pretty.
system?
Body art regulation support system. So we have different groups in here. This is a public thing. There's some kind of
real quick, like how would somebody get to here?
Discord. I guess I could drop the link in the chat. It's Discord body art regulation system is what you would search right here. And it brings you to this whole thing.
And I'm sorry, where are they searching?
Discord.
On Discord. Got it. So they're downloading Discord or going to the website to the Discord.
Discord.com or downloading a website, but discord.com. And that way you can go to your state and find out what's happening there. So for me, I'm in Wisconsin.
Yep.
I don't know where it is here. I must have been. But anyway, this is a place where all of the laws and things are kind of documented. So if you're in Montana and you're curious about what's going on, your health department stuff is here. So I'd recommend checking out. That would be a great resource, state by state. And that is a different thing than the Modernization of Cosmetic Regulation Act. We're talking about procedures and what's happening in your shop versus what's happening with like requirements for manufacturing, but both are happening simultaneous. So, while people are scrolling through Instagram and they're doing all this stuff to make them more visible, well, they've definitely been seen. Tattooing has been seen by the government and is now being regulated. It's crazy.
Yeah, no one likes regulation. I guess here's the thing, right? For me, it's like I just distrust any large group of people, So it's like I distrust the regulators, but I distrust the fucking economy and the corporations. Like they don't give a shit about anything but money. That is their job, technically speaking. And but yeah, obviously the main point is to have good quality, ethical tattooers use their voice to be able to try to lean on and influence the real world as much as possible. And to your point earlier, like there's so much action and money involved now that it's not underground anymore. And it doesn't mean that it's necessarily any less authentic. It's just not underground. Or at least not all of it.
Well, I think some of it is. Some of it is. But when we're talking about all this stuff and you talk about what can I do, I would recommend knowing what is going on and where you are, but also paying attention to, so on a national scale, when we're looking at responding to this MACRA stuff before the end of the year, you've got the industry take and you've got the trade take. And, the trade take is what I would say is most important because that's the tattooers. And one of the things that they're doing is banding together via the APT and calling all tattoo experts because the FDA has put out a thing where they're asking for comments on the draft guidance. So it's like, as a regular everyday tattooer, where's your medical background? Where's your psychological background? Where's your, science background? So what we're doing is we've actually partnered with doctors, psychologists, statisticians, all sorts of experts, and we're looking for more to collaborate on understanding the context of these laws. And it goes in, for example, we have a pigment committee under the APT. This is stuff that maybe someone you tattoo would know. Do you tattoo a dermatologist? We're dissecting word by word, piece by piece, this literature, and it's like, Selena at Girly Tattoos, I have a little thing that I'll share by her where it kind of gives a little bit more visual. I think she's awesome, but this is what it is. Calling all tattoo experts. This site that I'll pull up shortly, it says, read the document. If you have a comment, you can go to the site to submit it. And then once you get through the site to submit it, there's going to be a form through Google Docs that also is pretty important. So this is from industry regulators and manufacturers.
Right? Is this through the APT or is this this is shared through the APT app. Got it.
Yep. And she's done a lot she's a tattooer, obviously. She's done a lot through the European tattoo regulation. She was over there with one of our guests on a previous episode or segment, Aaron Dieter Wolf, along with other pretty awesome people. But if you aren't following Selena, she'd be a great person to see to keep up to date.
And then, so this is the APT's website here. It's safe-tattoos.com.
Mm-hmm. The Discord link is there. The NEHA body art model code is there, which is important. I've talked about that quite a bit. The FDA draft that they're asking for comments on are in the resource link there. So there's all sorts of stuff. And, with all of this, there comes fun stuff too. There's studies going out, that we're communicating with through this pigment committee of how much ink actually does get absorbed into the skin. What's the formula for that? The tattoo flu. There's a lady who's involved now in the committee who spoke last week, who's also a statistician, is working with the group that funded that research or is working on that research, which is really cool. Maybe that's something that we could talk to as some of their data comes out.
Oh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then they have yearly get-togethers.
I don't know if they still do them necessarily yearly because I know they had one 40th anniversary get-together in Florida in May, which was pretty cool.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. But otherwise, what I really like about the APT is they're being proactive, and I think that it's just a generational thought that these things, maybe you don't want the government involved, but at this point it's here, and it's good to see tattooers stand their ground and not be pushed around or anything like that, which is always possible, but they're being really proactive.
Awesome. Yeah, and the APTs, they've been around, since 92? Is that what I said there? It's there you go.
30 years.
Yep. Awesome.
I'm going to be interviewing Pat Sinatra at some point here soon in the near future. She'll be really interesting to talk to. She started tattooing in 1977 and was the third member of the committee, just to hear some.
Awesome. I remember one of my very first tattoo magazines I bought, she was one of the featured artists back then.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool. And then Jay Brown is also being really proactive, which is cool. He's navigating Discord too, like me, understanding it. But, you get a nice level of people who have been through it and really kind of feel passionately about this type of stuff.
Awesome. Yeah. So, if you're a tattooer, go check out safe-tattoos.com, and then you should definitely consider joining the APT. There's not very many organizations out there that are still left for tattooers that have tattooers' best interests at heart.
Yep. And then if you do tattoo someone like that, contact them that you think would like to be involved. Like I said, a dermatologist, someone who's in the medical field, something like that, who is, like one of the guys that was on Tattoo Collecting 101. He's involved now in the Pigment Committee, and he's a doctor. He's fully tattooed with really, really good work. The ink shrink. And he's had some really, really good contributions to like the medical verbiage within some of this stuff. So you never know. If you think you know someone, contact the APT. It'd be a great viable option for you to do some good. So yeah, my rambling.
Awesome. There we go. That was our news segment.
Sure.
And I guess we have our around the Tatosphere and our comments section. Well, so hey, I guess I'll plug the Tatosphere clip. Maybe we'll run like 4 or 5 minutes of it, and then we'll come back in to close it out. So this here is embarrassing for me, but whatever. Since the No Idols guys, John and Matt have a new podcast called Honest Tattooing, Honest Tattooer. I don't know. And oh, is this already playing? I screwed it up. Sorry. And yeah. So anyways, I went down to New York to do a podcast, and it was fun because it's actually a podcast. It's in a tattoo shop again. And I love all these different podcasts that are going on, but it's always, again, when I saw the video and I was like, anyways, I'll just play it. And we'll, yeah.
Hi.
No sound.
Let me, I wonder if that's interesting. How about I stop screen sharing, and then I will screen share tab audio. I see what's going on here. How about, okay, there we go. Boom. Now it'll work. Can't believe you brought that up on
Spilling.
That's a failure. That was a failure. Well, kind of a failure on me.
What's up, guys, and welcome to the Honest Tattooer podcast, the podcast that immerses you in the tattoo culture. I'm John Mesa, and I'm with my host, Matt Triano.
Hey.
And we have Gabe Ripley. What's up, brother?
Oh, how are you? This is great. Thank you very much for having.
No, thank you, man. So for people that don't know, so Gabe is the visionary behind TattooNow.com and many other projects. So why don't you introduce yourself?
Don't worry. So I'm Gabe Ripley. I'm a computer geek, and I help tattooers visualize their opportunity, maximize it, and then use business and computers to help them get it, I guess. And that comes through with events. We do real-world events. We do online events. And yeah, I love helping. Like I said, I love helping tattooers. I love helping amplify positive tattooers, leave a positive impact on the world.
So, when
if possible.
it was already maybe 2 years ago, I have this shop, and I'm a tattooer, man. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing most of the time. I'm figuring it out as this goes along. And, a friend recommended me to Gabe, actually, it's like, hey, he helped me a lot. And this is Jesse Smith, actually.
Yeah.
And he gave me a good recommendation. He's like, talk to him. He'll give you some good guidance. And I worked with Gabe for many months. And as somebody that I could consult and, get knowledge about how to learn to run and grow your studio. Because that's one of the biggest challenges, I feel like, for tattooers that, have a shop. And, dude, I just want to work with my friends. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, dude. I never thought I'd get sued, for just doing my job.
Yeah.
Like there's risks that you take when you decide to embark in this part of the journey of, that idea. I just want to work with my friends in an environment that I enjoy.
And even just for tattooers, like you are in, a business yourself.
Yes.
Often.
Yes.
And so it's like the tattooer has their business and their intentions and their clientele, and then the shop has their thing going on, and like to try to get everybody to be in alignment, right? Like is an executive word, but like even just like jiving, I guess, or like getting or vibing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's very difficult, like because people are just it's easier to be ambiguous and unclear. And to your point, it's for the most part, and at least in tattooing, it's like you're creating a business not because you want to be a business person, but because you want to like do tattoos and take money.
Yeah.
And but it's
Only that simple.
If it was only that simple. So yeah, well, it's a great podcast. They do a great job hosting. They got great questions, and all the other a lot of great other guests too. Jordan, the hand therapist or the tattoo therapist, he's like a real like a real therapeutic masseuse, not therapeutic masseuse, real what do you call them?
Massage therapist.
No, like, but when somebody's like recovering and needs like rehabilitation or whatever. That point is, he's got like a physical therapist. There he is. He's got like a master's in physical therapy or whatever. And anyway, so yeah, they're doing a great job with the podcast, and it's they record it, they edit it, and yeah, their editing job will be a little bit tighter than our editing job.
Yeah, that's cool. I remember in the thing that hit me when what John said is he's like saying, I just want to work with my friends, but like he's actually grown quite a bit. Like I can't remember how long ago I met him or saw him, and he's just at a different level now. It's cool to see that confidence. But yeah,
Yeah, no, absolutely.
to run, that's awesome.
I appreciate the fact that I get along with him pretty well, and he's like very fashionable. Like I'm like almost not anti-fashionable, but like, you know, whenever I have fashionable clothes on, my wife has dressed me appropriately. And but John, man, you like look at his, like, you know, he's like, you know, decked out all the time. You know, he's got cool pants, and I'm like, you know, it almost makes me be like, oh, wait a minute, there's something there with fashion, but that ship has sailed for me. Too old for that.
Same. Well, everybody,
You got your own fashion game without even realizing.
yeah.
Oh, I know. Much to my wife's dismay. But so we do have
All right, everybody.
leaving messages segment here, right? So if anybody wants to leave messages or like a voice call-in kind of thing, I think this number is actually works. You could call it and leave a message, or you could text it, and you could DM it, or evidently you can blah it.
Cool.
Okay.
Well, awesome.
Well-
I'll make sure to do that.
So that was the new show. Now we have to have our awesome slamming conclusion. There's a lot of energy for this not being live.
Yeah. Well, you're still recording?
I am still recording, yes. So we could
Okay,
give ourselves a little bit of a close, and then we'll see if the recording actually recorded.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you, everybody. It's been a pleasure to be back here with the Tattoo Weekly. Stay tuned as we'll continue to cover more news and updates about the legal stuff happening, as well as some pretty cool travel destinations coming up in the next 6 weeks. Awesome.
Yeah, I'm definitely pretty excited for the reboot. We also have different types of segments coming up. So, you know, we'll be interviewing some tattooers. We'll bring on a couple different types of activities. We'll do our showcases where we find new tattooers. So if there's anybody that you think we should be showcasing, let us know in the comments who your favorite tattooers are. And yeah, like I said, I'm Gabe Ripley, Computer Geek, and TattooGathering.com. Yeah, tattoo now too.
All right.
Cool. Thanks for joining us, guys. See you next
Fun. You gotta give it. Tell us who we are.
more.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us today. If you want to see more of my shining face and more of my shenanigans, tune in Thursday for Tattoo Collecting 101.
Perfect. Awesome.
Is that better?
Much better.
All right.
Okay. And then thank you, Guy. Thank you, Reinventing. And I am clicking the end recording button.